All right, so real quick, I want to see how many first and second years? Any third, fourth, or fifth years? Okay, cool. Appreciate you hanging. Awesome. All right, well, for those people that didn't meet, am I loud enough? Can you hear me okay? Okay, so I'm Ken Roberts. Some of you might have heard my company's Interior Talent. So 21 years ago, Interior Talent started in Chicago, Illinois, as a small boutique recruitment company specifically for high-end residential design firms. And it was a service that really, there was no recruiter specifically for the industry. That then I started a year after the company started, and we launched into doing some other cool stuff, and it became a much larger firm. So over these 21 years, I've had the privilege of talking to a lot of students, a lot of professionals, everything from entry level to C-suite. What I really get excited about is talking to students to kind of give you a little bit more raw insight about how to get yourself ready. And yeah, I'm a dad, I'm a coach, I'm a lot of things. But what I want to talk about is really how do you prepare now for your professional career. You don't prepare for your professional career when you graduate. It starts now, right? So I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of insight of things that are really important that I see that a lot of people don't, and I'm not saying it's not school's responsibility to teach you how to be a professional. Their job is to teach you to become an architect or a designer or a landscape architect. They're teaching you that. So we're going to talk about some of these things. Judy, who's my wonderful colleague up there, she talks about something also called your brand. Okay? Who you are and how you put yourself out to the world. Think about all the money Pepsi and Coke and all the amazing companies that sell products to this industry. I mean, they all worry about their brand so much. Look at what happened to Bud Light when they just destroyed their brand about what they did. They said they did something that people didn't agree about. Your brand as an image, your personal image, how you are portrayed, how you portray yourself is incredibly important. How do you get involved? This is a big one. We're going to talk about soft skills, right? Professional etiquette, and about getting some real experience. So let's talk about your brand. Social media is a really big topic because what you put out to the world is saying, this is who I am. Now listen, I was in college too, and thank God there was no social media. Because if there was, I'd be up a creek without a paddle. I took a long time to get through college. I enjoyed every second of it. I was not in a rush. I was in a fraternity. You guys have SIG up here? You have SIG up? Sigma Phi Epsilon? I was a SIG up. I am a SIG up. And I had a great time. But you are unfortunately in an era where everything you do is being documented, whether you want it to be or not. Right? And it was mentioned before, if you were here, about what are your friends taking pictures of, right? What you put on your Insta, your Pinterest, what are you putting on LinkedIn, what are you putting on any kind of social media, what are you doing on Snapchat? And just, my kid's at Snapchat, but listen, we know what can happen with Snapchat. You think it goes away, it doesn't necessarily go away, right? What's happening on TikTok? It's really, unfortunately, what you're putting out now is going to be looked at in your future. And unfortunately, we as professionals, your future employers are going to judge you based on what you put out there. Because they think that's your brand. That's who you are and how you want to be represented. And the raw truth is, there are so many people that if they do it the wrong way, they put themselves out of the game immediately. And that's a harsh truth. Like, listen, I hate to be a jerk about this, but it's true. You're judged by your social media. So you got to be, this is a cool opportunity now. You're just starting college. You can make your Instagram look like amazing. Start taking photography. You all have the most advanced camera in the world in your pocket. This is the most advanced camera. I bought a $1,500 camera. This is more advanced than that. Okay? You have an opportunity to use it. You have an opportunity to talk about what really, if you do watercolors, if you start drawing, you start anything, whatever you're into, this is an opportunity to put this on your social media and really focus on that. And anything you might have done, it can kind of kick to the back, or you can take it off, right? But social media really is important because that's part of your digital footprint. What is your digital footprint? Are you putting the right message out there? Right? Are your friends tagging you and stuff and maybe it's a little inappropriate? Maybe? I know that's the harsh truth, right? And listen, somebody mentioned earlier that they don't have a digital, they don't have any social media. That's okay. But here's an opportunity to start one that maybe makes a big difference. But this is a really, really touchy subject. Your online image really can either set you on a path for success or a really rocky path. And so which way do you want to go? You want to make it easy, right? So take this opportunity. Listen, I know social media is not going anywhere. I'm not telling you to go ghost. Don't do that. But what are you doing with it? Take this opportunity to make something right out of it, or understand that there are going to be consequences. And that's a harsh reality, right? And the reason why I start with this one, because it's too many people, too many great designers and architects and people. I mean, I had this guy, 15-year, super successful designer. Amazing. He was all about MAGA. He was all about Trump. And listen, I don't care about your political beliefs, but my client didn't like that. So no matter what, because of his political beliefs, he said no to this incredible designer just because they made a post. That's the facts. That's the facts. It happens. So just think about that. And you kind of get like, you got to be a little politically correct. You got to be like in a neutral zone, right? When you're in a place of success and you don't have to give a crap what people think, do whatever you want. At that point, it's up to you. But until then, what are your images? What do you want it to be? This is a wonderful golden opportunity where you can create this amazing picture of you to the online world, right? How many people here, you have an ASID chapter, student chapter here? IIDA, AIA? Nothing? Who are members of any of those associations? Okay. Red flag. Okay. Do you know how powerful those associations are? They're the three largest. There's IDS too, Interior Design Society. Right? Those first three, ASID, IIDA, and AIA, and then there's also the AALSA, are the largest design-related associations in the country. They are dying for student members. They do, you know what's so cool about this industry? I mean, listen, I hope if you're not 21, plug your ears. But when you become 21, you know what's awesome about this industry? It's incredibly social. They love to party. And all these events usually have food and wine for free. It's true. So it's an opportunity for you to socialize. So when being involved, starting out with just being a member, student member, I think it's like $45 a year or super cheap, $25 a year, right? Becoming a student member, going to some events. And then maybe you get a little more involved and you become a secretary or you become part of the committee, just a committee member. Do you know what that says on your resume? It is huge. It says that actually you're involved because you give a crap about what's happening with this. There's all this legislation that happens in different states, and I'm not sure if it's happening here, about whether or not you need to be licensed as a designer. Do you have to be licensed in Mississippi to be a designer? Okay. Do you know how incredibly important that is for the industry? You want to be licensed. Because if you're not licensed, they're going to call you a decorator. Did you go to school for 4+ years to become a decorator? No. But if you're not involved in speaking your voice and being an impactful player, even as a student, you say it's okay to do whatever you want, legislature. It doesn't matter to me. All right? So the big difference is that for designers, you can stamp on drawings when you're licensed, just like an architect. Okay? When you're involved in these associations, you get to be really an active part of what's going on. There's amazing peer groups. How many people are here on part of a club here in the university? Throw a club, the glasses. What club are you part of?
Oh, I'm the AIS.
Huh?
Also in the neuroscience club.
Science club? Okay, great. Grace? I'm sorry?
Fashion board.
Fashion board. Those are both related to the industry, right? I'm sure there's a million other, there's several other groups that you can be involved that'll get you one step more into creativity, right? Maybe you're just in part of, are you part of an intramural sport? Getting involved is great. Getting involved with peer groups, people that want to do the same thing you want to do, incredibly powerful, right? Put that you're part of an organization of your peers. National conferences. Who has gone to a national conference for architecture and design? Which would you go to?
I went to the AIS Grassroots Conference.
Excellent. You read? Same one? Okay, gotcha. So there are right now, if you go on the DLN's website, if you go on Design Leadership Network, they have a calendar. Now, there's many international ones. But domestically, I think there are about 20, roughly about 20 different conferences you can go to all throughout the United States. Okay? Atlanta, Charlotte, there's one. There's always, usually a statewide ASA or AIA has a conference. These conferences are super powerful. You know how much free stuff you get at these conferences? It's like, I mean, you walk away with bags of all this free swag. They love when students come to them, right? These national conferences are an opportunity for you, and they give you such deals. Okay, the difference between a student going to a national conference is like $100. You want to become a professional, it's like $500. Now, $100 is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But what you get out of it is incredibly powerful. Getting involved just says that you want to be more than just a degree. You want to actually make an impact. So these national conferences, and I talked about in student organizations. Does MS, you have a local student organization for architecture or design, right? Who's involved with that? Seriously? 5 of you? What you doing? Get involved. How much time is it really? How much time is it in a month does it take you?
Not much. We have like a couple of meetings a month that are maybe
An
an hour to 2 hours each.
hour or 2 hours a month. Does it cost you anything?
Just the program is like $45
$45 a year for an hour to 2 a month. And I'm sure if I looked at your neighbor who didn't go to it, wasn't part of it, and it was on your resume, and you had equal degree, I'm telling you it's going to stand out. Yes, sir.
We also have a national organization of minority architects student chapter,
Yep.
which is very well
Come on.
attended.
You have it in your back door. It's not much time. Listen, I'm not expecting you to go join some organization where you got to put in hours and hours a week. Of course, it's a lot. You want to have a good time. You already got school. You want to have fun. Totally get it. But getting involved, I'm telling you, is incredibly powerful. Let me tell you what's going to happen, folks. If you want to stay relevant in this industry, you're going to have to be involved. If I want exposure with my company, I have to be involved. If you want to know what trends are happening in architecture and design, you have to be involved. Start building this muscle of going to these conferences, getting exposure, networking. It's the most powerful skill you want to be successful? Network. Learn how to walk up to anybody and introduce yourself and say hello and strike up a conversation. I guarantee you, any of those architects and designers can walk up to any single person, introduce themselves, and have a wonderful conversation. Could you say that same about yourself? But this is an opportunity for you to learn how to do this now. And the people that were up here, I bet you a year ago, before they got the opportunity to do New York, they probably would have been super uncomfortable. But they got exposure to something pretty cool. And now they were forced to put them in a situation. These opportunities force you to stand out, right? And it was super powerful. Soft skills. So here's, soft skills are like the things that you don't necessarily really talk about. The first one I put on there is public speaking. What is, as a designer or architect, what do you think your ultimate responsibility is? Raise a hand if you think what is the one part of your job that is the most important when you become an architect or designer? Look at the glasses. Communicate your design. Oh, I love you. Build relationships. You have to sell, communicate, Build a relationship with your client so they say yes to your vision. If you're not comfortable getting in front of them, in front of a board, in front of a few people, or just one person, I'm telling you, you're going to be at a major disadvantage. So public speaking, who has taken public speaking? Anybody take public speaking? Oh, that's good. Do you guys have Toastmasters here in town? You guys know what Toastmasters is? Look it up. Toastmasters is usually a very inexpensive. It's part of, like Kiwanis Club or something like that. I can't remember. But Toastmasters is a public speaking organization of professionals. Sometimes they have a student organization. It's usually free, and you get to be with peers, and you get to do these cool little presentations to each other, and they give you feedback. I did it for many years. Incredibly powerful, right? Public speaking is one of the biggest fears. I mean, you could have fear of spiders, fear of changing jobs, fear of marriage, kids, all that stuff. Public speaking's right up there. I hate spiders, by the way. That's why I always say spiders. I hate spiders. Public speaking's a big fear. It's scary, right? Debate club. Do you guys have debate club here? You know why debate club's really powerful? You're going to be with your colleagues, and you're going to be deciding on which is the best path to go. There's collaboration, but then you also have to sell and debate why your idea is the best for this project, right? You have to convince them. If you can't convince them, guess what? Your incredible idea just went on the floor. So what are you doing? You can be the most talented architect and designer, but if you can't speak to a crowd and sell your idea, I'm telling you, it's going to be a tough time. These are the skills that you get to work on now. And I'm telling you, if you just put even a quarter of the amount of time that you do in something that you're doing for fun into this, you will have a major leg up. Customer service. Who works in retail or hospitality? Oh, I thought there'd be way more. Oh, that's surprising. Do you guys have fear of hospitality? No one's worked at a restaurant? Yeah, it's hospitality, restaurant. Who's waited tables? Who's bartended? Okay? I swear by hospitality. My favorite job ever was bartending. Loved it. It helped me. That was the skill that I could talk to anybody about anything. Loved it. Right? Go get a job. I don't care. Go get a job in any restaurant. You could be at a fast food place working as a cashier. Chick-fil-A is one of the best customer service training out there. Okay? Go work in retail. What I'm trying to explain to you is gives you an opportunity how to deal with a customer. Customer service is that's the essence of being an incredible designer or an architect, is you know how to nurture and take care of your client, whether they're a large commercial client or a residential. How many people want to do residential? Okay, about more than half of you. Residential design is about dealing with a homeowner, the emotions that happen with that. You got to convince them. You got to get them excited about what you're doing, but you have to nurture through those emotions. Retail and hospitality is incredibly powerful. How many people have a job? Oh, half you. Wow, for you guys. I had to work all through college. God bless you. But if you get a job, if you have to get a job, try hospitality or retail. Just try it, part-time. Who does seasonal work during the holidays? Retail seasonal work is great too. Something that gives you exposure, right? Anything with team collaboration, because you're not going to be an independent designer or architect. You're going to work in a team. Now, yes, you may eventually go out on your own, but I guarantee you, first of all, as a designer architect, I'd say it's like less than 1% of the people graduate school and go start their own firm, right? As an architect, you need to work for an architectural firm, and same thing with a designer in order to get licensed. So if you don't do that, then you're going to be on your own doing a decorator or an associate. You can't call yourself an architect till you're licensed, right? These are things that like just are setting you up. These skills are incredibly powerful. Judy talked about etiquette. Professional etiquette is how you act in front of peers in a professional environment. The way you act with your friends is one thing. This is you don't want to know how I act in front of my friends. Very different than this, right? But one of the top one on there is communication. How do you communicate face-to-face? How are you communicating via email? How are you communicating via text, right? If you're using the letter U instead of YOU in any professional text. And can I make a suggestion? Start building that muscle memory where you type everything out now, because when you're dealing with a client, you cannot use shortcuts. When you're dealing with a vendor, you cannot use shortcuts. You have to type it out. Start now, right? With your friends, one thing, but I'm telling you, eventually, I've almost let it slip a couple times, and you got to be really careful because it's super unprofessional. How you communicate sets part of your brand. How do you want to be? Do you want to be respected? Right, you want to be respected. So do you get more respect by giving respect? Right? You get more respect back. And how you communicate is super important. And anywhere I go, I usually always dress like this in a kind of professional environment. When I go to work every day, I'm the only person in my company that wears a dress shirt, right? I'm always looking good because I don't know who I'm going to meet, right? And I do have to say, a lot of people looked really great, and I really appreciate that. But if you're ever going to be in an opportunity where you're going to be in a kind of professional environment, you're not sure, always be the best dressed person, always. In high school, I started wearing ties in high school. Yeah, I was that guy. Just hold on. And I went to a small high school in New Jersey, and I started wearing ties. And I noticed a major change by everybody, especially the ladies. And I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. I like this, right? Then next thing I know, I get best dressed, junior year, best dressed senior year. And I said, let me continue this. So I went to college, and I continued to dress nicely, better than all my colleagues, right? And I was in a fraternity, and so I started to continue dressing. And I just noticed how every time I went somewhere, people always said, Ken, you always look so good. And I attracted people to me because I'm not necessarily the best looking guy in the room. I know that. But I will always look good because I want people to be able to approach me. Also, I always wear some kind of something. This is called a what's it? So if you notice my shirt has little chandeliers on it, right? 3 different people said something about it. I always wear a what's it, by the way. Anything. Always fun glasses. I always wear some kind of fun socks. Something that people ask me about, right? How I dress is intentional. It's intentional. How you present yourself, your brand, starting now, should be intentional. And I know it's a lot to think about. You're like, come on, Ken, I'm like my first year of college. Just give me a break. And I'm not expecting you to do this every time. But if you're going to be in a situation where you might meet people like you did today, take advantage of that. Stand out from your peers. Because at the end of the day, when you all graduate, the people that stand out will have a leg up. Okay? Time management. This is a skill that honestly you continue to work on. How many people actually use their calendar in their phone? Seriously. Not just for your classes, for like life things. Okay, about half of you. That's pretty good. I'll give you. That's pretty impressive. Figure out a way where you are being much more intentional and much more careful about how you manage your time. Learn that skill now, because I'm telling you, when you become a designer and architect and you have to record every hour you work on every single project, you are billable to their clients. Get ready. Create the muscle memory of that brain going, I need to record this. Know that I have a block for studying. I have a block, I'm going out. This is my time, I'm going out because I got to come back and I got to study for this exam. Start working on time management skills now. And I'm telling you, it will give you such freedom when you get older. Right? Because I'm pretty good with my time management, I do a lot of stuff. A lot. Like I'm leaving tomorrow morning, I go back, I'm coaching my daughter's hockey tournament, and then I come back and then I'm going to a dad's only camp, which is pretty cool, first time I'm doing it. Dad's only camp, I got back-to-back things happening, right? But I have to manage that, I have to put that all in, and I have to schedule everything and how I do my things before that. Things I had to get done so that I can do this trip, right? Time management is incredibly important. Accountability. Judy said it, and I'm telling you, and someone said it up here, if you say you're going to be somewhere, always be on time. There is nothing more frustrating for the person you're going to meet when you're late. And I don't care if it's your best friend. because your best friend's not going to tell you you're an a-hole because you're 15 minutes late. They're just going to be frustrated. Be on time. If you're not on time, you are late. Okay? If you're not 5 minutes early, I consider you late. I think promptness is the most incredibly important skill as a professional, is to be on time. If you say you're going to be there, you're going to get something done, do it. Don't commit to something you can't do. That's okay. You don't have to do everything. I'm not asking you to do all these things we're talking about. What the ones you're going to commit to, do them. Accountability is incredibly important. Professional behavior, right? Come on. I mean, you guys, you know what, I mean, most people will know how you should act. But I'll give you the one thing. I mentioned before, this is a very social industry. It's a very intimate industry. You go to a lot of these events, right? People think, oh, this is serving wine. I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. You go to these ones, you nurse that glass of wine for an hour, right? You go to these events, you nice little plate. You don't eat like a gavoon, right? Little things on how you behave in these environments. Just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean it's okay to do it. Your behavior is being watched. Everything you do, we talked about before. People are taking pictures. People are noticing things. Everybody's watching. If you don't think they're watching, you're mistaken. I got to observe so many of you today, and I can point out many people that if I had the opportunity to take time and put it aside because of things I saw that were just like, whoa, there was a lot. And there was many people I thought they were just so incredibly professional, the way they were dressed, the way they acted. I was like, wow, it's awesome, right? How you behave in a professional environment is completely different. But what's cool about now is, like we're talking about, is you can practice that. You can go to these industry events. You can go and be a member at these associations. You can practice, right? It's like you're getting an opportunity to screw up and not be that judged. Because when you graduate and you go to these events and you act like kind of a little bit of an idiot, trust me, it's hard to recover from some of those things, right? It's really hard. How many people have an internship? I've done an internship. Have one planned for the summer. Okay, why don't the rest of you have internships set up? Don't tell me it's because I don't need to get one. That excuse, throw it out the door. Every single one of you, if you have an opportunity, whether you're going home for the summer or you're staying here, you're going to visit your aunts in some other town, I don't care. You all have an opportunity to get some type of internship. And you should be vying for that right now. Get that stuff signed up, locked in. Don't do it because it's not required. Okay. So she is now on her third internship, and you have one. You've both graduated. You did the requirements, but she's got an extra 2 or 3 summers under her belt. Who is more attractive to hire? She is. Why? She's got more experience. She put herself out there. She's been exposed to more professional environment. If you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to know, right? And you also, listen, you know what's cool about internships? You can learn right there, I am never going to do that kind of work. I hate that. That is not my world. I am not going to do healthcare. I'm not going to do historical renovation. Maybe you realize you don't want to do residential, and your whole time you're thinking, I want to become a residential architect so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad. And you go work for a firm, and you're like, ooh, no thank you. It gives you an opportunity to not waste 2 or 3 years thinking that's the path you're going to go, and then you get into it and you're like, oops, I should have went a different route. But if you don't put yourself out there in such circumstances where you can be exposed to this, well, guess what? You don't know. You don't know what you really love. You think it's sexy because of what you see in pictures. Maybe what some of your professors might have told you. Maybe you've met a couple of cool architects and designers and you think it's amazing. But unless you actually get in there and get your hands dirty, you don't know. So internships are incredibly powerful. Do not wait till they are required. It will give you such a leg up. Who volunteers? And be honest. Who's volunteered at least 10 hours in the last 6 months? Oh man, this is like the best thing in the world. Okay, if you had to choose between an internship and volunteer, volunteer. Do you love a sport? Go volunteer and teach kids how to play baseball, football, flag football, volleyball, tennis, golf. Go to a shelter and feed people soup or food for an hour. Go to Salvation Army and see if you can help stock shelves for them for a couple hours. Give. You give to give. When you give your time of your talents, so you don't have the treasures yet. You will. But what you have is time and talents. When you volunteer, you get way more than money back. You get a life experience and an exposure to stuff that, honestly, it's insane how powerful and enriching that it can be. Try it. Go do one thing. Promise yourself, right? We're going to make a commitment. Okay? Don't raise your hand if you're not going to commit. But if you think you can commit to go try somewhere and volunteer between now and before school ends, which is what, May, mid-May? Mid-May. Volunteer one time. Raise your hand if you want to do it. Come on, commit if you can. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take a picture. No, seriously. Raise your hand. Raise your hand up. If you're going to do it, do it. Raise your hand up. Higher. Higher. Okay. You just committed. I took a picture. Remember people taking pictures? I just took a picture. Okay? Just 1 hour. 1 hour of your life between now and the end of school? Come on. Try it. See what you get out of it. And I guarantee you'll come back and be like, wow, I'm going to do that again. I volunteered my entire life. Thankfully, because I had a mother, being Italian, she was very Catholic, and we got to volunteer a lot at church. But I've continued to do that, even though I'm not a practicing Catholic right now, and I get so much more out of it. I volunteer for my daughter's hockey team. I don't get paid. I spend literally thousands of dollars traveling to all these tournaments to teach these 12 wonderful girls how to play hockey. I get so much out of that, so much joy. All right? Volunteering. Job shadowing. So you can't get an internship. Let's say you don't have enough time. Have you reached out to a design firm anywhere where you're from or in town and say, listen, I just would love to come in and watch you work for just a couple of hours. I just literally just want to shadow you. And that's literally that. I just want to watch you. I'm just trying to be exposed. You want to pull on those heartstrings. Woo! It works. They will love you. They're like, oh my God, what? What do you want to do? I'm not looking for an internship. I'm looking for an opportunity to job shadow someone that is talented in the design field or architecture field, landscape architecture, whatever. Couple hours in a semester, guess what? You can put that on a resume. Okay? Job shadowing is very different than internship. Okay? It's less of a commitment. You can be exposed to many different things, and it's pretty powerful. Once again, you can get in there and see what they're doing. And maybe it's a firm that you're like, man, you've heard good things. They do such cool stuff. And then you walk in that door and it's a crap show. You're like, no, thank you. No, not for me. Or you thought they were going to be like really boring, and they're just incredibly inviting and just amazing people. And the work they're doing is really making an impact. Wow, that's something you can be exposed to. I can get my arms around that. Right? Preparing for your career is not at the end of school. It's now, because these are little steps that you have to take between now and the end of your career, end of your college career, to prepare you for the real show, right? For the real opportunity. Who plays a sport? Who's played a sport? Who's played a sport, plays an instrument, anything like that? Okay. Did you learn it overnight? Did you practice a lot? A lot, right? If you played an instrument, your parents would like play the damn piano, play the violin, lots of practice. And only after all that time, you became pretty decent, hopefully, or at least knew how to do it. So how do you expect to become a professional unless you practice it? Do you just do this? Does it just happen? Oh, I have a degree. Guess what? I'm a professional. No. It's a learning process that you have a lot of things you can be exposed to and do. It gives you an opportunity to really hone in on who you want to be, what your brand is, and more importantly, is how you want to represent yourself to the world of architecture or design. And as a human being, probably too. But you've got to practice this. I talk about, muscle memory. I talked about, training that muscle. All these are like these mental muscles, right? Public speaking, networking, trying to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, how you get yourself out of them. Not the wrong kind, the right kind of wrong situations. All of this matters in how you stand out. Lovely people here, but the fact remains is not everybody here is going to be ultra successful. It's not. Hopefully most of you will be. I do truly believe that. But the people that stand out, that go the extra mile, that do the extra training, do the extra internships, get the volunteering, that do something to make themselves stand out from their peers are the ones that the people out there, all those professionals out there, that's who they want to hire. That's the facts. That's the reality. It doesn't matter where you went to school. It really doesn't. Some programs are perceived as a little bit better, but it's about you, the individual. As a designer and architect, we hire people. You're not programmers. You have a skill that you can put into and articulate your abilities, but you are people connecting with people. And if you don't practice that skill or skills, guess what? The person next to you who did is going to stand out. And they're going to get the opportunity. Right? Procrastination. I was as a younger man, I procrastinated a lot. And I was bad at college, I'll be honest with you. I partied a lot, I told you. I was really good at time management. I was super involved in my fraternity. I held every position other than president of my fraternity. But I was a procrastinator for a lot of stuff. And I paid the price on that. And it was a big part of my grades. But that's really a fact. Procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder. And if you're not preparing, right, failing to prepare, prepare to fail. That's my favorite quote. Because everything you do, you've got to take some time and due diligence to kind of just get yourself ready. Do you think that Ruth just kind of wung it and just put it all? You know how much preparing she had to do to get this together? That's why this was so organized. She put the time in, right? Everything you do has to have some preparation. When you go out on a date, do you just kind of go out? No, you do it upright. You want to get the right clothes on. Maybe you clean your car, right? You prepare. But why are you not preparing for the most important part of your life? What's going to bring you an income and an opportunity to be able to do all the things you want to do. If you want to travel, you need a job. You want to have a relationship, you need money, right? All those things. You're going to school for a reason. Your parents, or whether you're putting yourself through, or scholarships, or whatever, you've got grants. What are you doing it for? Right? It's really kind of, when you think about it, it's kind of like, wait a minute. I'm spending all this time and energy in getting an education, but what's really the outcome? Is the outcome just to get a degree? Is that really what it is? Because you get a lot of degrees, and it'd be a lot easier than doing this. But you want to be an architect. You want to be an interior designer. You want to be a landscape architect. You want to build. You want to create. But you do that through people, right? Every project you do, every thing you touch is going to be connected to a person, right? It's an opportunity. You can either take it or leave it. It's your call. I'm here just to give you information. And trust me, I've coached and guided tens of thousands of designers and architects over these years, right? And I can tell you, I feel bad about the ones that don't take the time, because it's such, I see such incredible talent that is wasted by the fact they just didn't put the time in. They were really talented designers and architects, but no one wanted to hire them. You know why? because they were kind of like idiots. They didn't care about the way they looked. They didn't care about the way they present themselves. They were really quiet, and they couldn't speak in front of a crowd. They didn't go the extra mile. When they went to networking events, guess what? They were the wallflower in the corner. They didn't get an opportunity. You know how many, okay, listen, I've made millions of dollars by shaking people's hands. Millions. Because when I go to events, I shake someone's hand, introduce myself. And that's an opportunity for me to tell them what I do. If you don't put yourself out there and shake a hand, what's the point? Just go sit behind a computer the rest of your life. That's cool. Be very successful in that way if you want. But this is a different industry. This is about people, the connective tissue. We talk about as vast and as large as this industry is, it is one of the most intimate industries out there. Because I'm telling you, you will all live in probably different parts of the state or states, but at some point at a conference, at an event, you're going to be like, oh my God, oh, you're working at this? Oh, we just did a project with them. Oh, you're selling this? Oh my God, I just bought that. Whatever it is, there's going to be a connective tissue. And that is the coolest thing about this industry. That's why for 21 years, I've never recruited anything else other than working for design firms and architectural firms in the A&D industry, because it's so awesome. So with that, I'm going to answer questions. I hope you got some questions. This is designed for you to kind of grill me. I'll tell you anything I can. And you might not like the answer, but I'll tell it. Give me some questions. Don't be shy. I'll make you stand up and do jumping jacks. All right, everybody stand up. Stand up. Everybody stand up. Stretch for a second. Mental break. Stretch. 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 Stand up. All right, now you're awake. Okay, you're awake now. Everyone's awake. Anyone still sitting? Then they're still asleep. All right, now sit back down. Now, I know I didn't answer all the questions or you didn't get all the information. So give me a question. Give me something. I don't care. Anything related to the industry, anything related to this. Ruth.
My question is mainly for people this is very difficult for. Like there's a lot of anxiety about it, and you want to be this person, but you don't think you are. Mm-hmm. Personally, because I've been there and still can be there around my career, what would you say?
Imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Yep, it's a real thing. So I'll tell you, I wasn't a recruiter, right? So I didn't know recruiting. I kind of, honestly, I believed in the mantra of fake it till you make it, right? But what got me to where I am is confidence, is that I believed in that I could do this, and I put myself in some uncomfortable situations, and sometimes I floundered, sometimes I failed, but I continued to put myself in uncomfortable situations so I felt more comfortable. Imposter syndrome is a real thing. It's a real thing, and I get it. But being exposed to more of these opportunities we talked about will get you more comfortable. Being exposed to more designers, more architects, more landscape architects, to vendors that sell product, all right? There are probably independent reps in town that would love to share with what they sell, right? That's a great opportunity for a shadow, by the way. There's got to be someone that sells, whether it's amazing high-end appliances or someone that sells tile or sells moldings or whatever. Maybe there's an opportunity to talk to them. Just getting exposure gives you a little bit more confidence. Just every little step, a little bit closer to feeling like, okay, I deserve to be here. I am 100% supposed to be standing on this stage, which allows you to feel more comfortable and get you closer to that point where you feel, I'm going to walk into the room head held high. Yes, sir?
Do firms value more of your curiosity, persistence, rather than your expertise in the field?
That's a good one. Did you guys hear that? Persistence versus expertise. It's a combination, right? I think it's, I like persistence personally. Expertise, like you can be persistent and not be good at your job, and that's not going to help, right? Let's start with this level of your career. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? You know, early bird gets the worm. No one ever said the person that's last wins. No one's ever said that, right? So you have to be more persistent. If you want that opportunity, you want that internship, you have to be persistent, okay? As you move on in your career and you get opportunities to work with exceptional design firms, architectural firms, and you get the exposure, yes, that expertise sometimes allow you to outweigh the having to be more persistent. But if you want to sell that product, if you want to sell that vision, if you want that client to say yes, you need to be persistent. Persistence makes a big deal. Listen, you know, if you all walked away after you maybe asked somebody out and they said no, and you walked away, I'm sure many of you have asked somebody out multiple times before they said yes. Or your friend, go do something, people said no, no, no. And then eventually they said yes because you stay persistent. It pays off, for sure. Yes?
So you talked about practicing networking at different events and such. So what is your, through your career, your go-to introducing yourself, conversation starter to make somebody remember you?
It's a good one. So what do I do? I'm always going up to somebody and I'm like, I introduce who I am and what I do, and I go, tell me about yourself, right? I usually don't ask, where do they work? I said, tell me about yourself. I use that line, tell me how you spend your day, right? And it gives them the opportunity to talk about a little more. I'll say, what's your passion? I'll ask a lot of people about their hobbies. What's your hobby? What are you passionate about, right? And so I like to ask more questions than talk. Well, it depends on the circumstance. I do talk a lot. But I like to ask questions, right? People love talking about themselves, right? Usually. So you ask lots of questions. Yeah. Any other questions? That's it? Wow. Oh, in the back, yes.
How did you get to where you really wanted to be in your career? Obviously you're doing good right now, but
Yeah.
how did you work up to getting to where you wanted to be in your career?
The turning point for what I wanted to do, there was a client, so Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, which you're all familiar with, was a client that I've wanted to land for many years, right? Because they were a huge company. I like cruising and stuff like that, but I wanted to land them as a client. And it took a lot of, I had to be really creative and get them to say yes, and how to get in front of the door. And I knew, when I landed them, I knew we were onto something. But where it made a real impact is when I went to an event, and I remember more people knew me than I knew them, right? So that to me was like, okay, so I'm obviously making an impact in life, and that was great. And I'll tell you, I just told the story earlier today. So 15 years ago, I went around to 25 different schools throughout the country during the recession, and I gave a talk. It was called How to Find Your Dream Job at Any Economy. It was a pretty crappy economy, right? It was really bad. So I would go around, I was making next to no money, but I wanted to do something, they basically paid for my travel, and I just wanted to kind of go help the industry because we were really worried about a major exodus of the design community. So I went around and talked to all these different chapters, ASID chapters mainly, some IID chapters. And just in October last year, at High Point. Anybody been to High Point? Go to High Point, it's a great show. I was at High Point and two designers came up to me and she said, hey, Ken Roberts. I'm like, yeah, how you doing? Didn't have a name tag on. And she's like, you don't remember me, do you? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I meet a lot of people, I apologize. She says, well, 15 years ago, you came to our chapter in, I think it was in Illinois. And you came to our chapter and you gave a talk about how to find a job. And I used that and I got a job when none of my friends could. And it really helped me really kind of get my career off in a really terrible economy. She just graduated school and it was the recession. There was no jobs. So she came and she's like, you literally changed my career because I was able to get a job when none of my colleagues could. And I felt like that was like the best feeling ever when someone 15 years ago, she has now her own company. She has 20 employees now. It was pretty cool. So, yeah. Yes?
How are you currently branding yourself?
How am I currently branding myself? Well, a lot of it myself. Personally, how I look and how I dress, I think, is a big part of how I continue to try to stand out a little bit if I can. A lot through our company. Our company is trying to be much more as a resource than just a recruiter. I speak at a lot of different events to try to get exposure to what I see as some of the challenges for the industry about hiring and retention. But it's mainly about, for me personally, I just want to be involved. Like, being involved is everything, right? If I'm not involved, I feel I will not stay relevant. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Anything else? All right. Listen, folks, you really, truly are the future of this industry. I hope you all stick with it, because this is a pretty awesome industry. It's pretty amazing. It's got its ups and downs for sure, but it's pretty awesome. But if you don't put the work in now, it's going to be way harder when you graduate. You think it's hard now? I'm telling you, you got a really golden opportunity to take advantage of it. Just try some of these things. Go volunteer. Go take a public speaking class, debate club, join an association. Be part of something that puts you in a little bit uncomfortable situation. Push yourself a little bit. And I'm telling you, you will get more out of that, please, Hans, don't take this the wrong way, than you will out of any of your classes. Your classes are supposed to teach you the technical and the process and the reasoning behind what you do. But it can't teach you the professionalism. You have to put yourself in circumstances and situations where you can flex that muscle. So go flex. Thank you so much, everybody.